Hello, welcome to the United Man. It's been a while. This is new thing I put together called Unscripted. Basically meaning what we talking about isn't governed, nor is it planned. So we can talk about anything that pops in to your mind or mine. So yeah, just wanted to touch on. Been away for a couple of weeks now, haven't I? So just wanted to say it's pretty much down to the whole Corona madness. So not starting on a downer, but that's why I've not been around that much. So yeah, just wanted to say yeah, back now. Is that camera looking a bit? Sorry about that. But yeah, just wanted to say I'm back now and happy to be back. Still working. So the Corona madness, all that jazz. Not to say I've had the Corona, but I'm still working. I'm not off work or anything like that. So I'm still working. Having to go shopping, all that kind of stuff. Because me, Mrs. Kids, so kids have been off school for a couple of weeks, as most that's got children. And yeah, so it's just been a bit of a mad time, really. So not been able to do much of what I like doing, which is uploading in being around everything Manchester United. But as it says, unscripted, so that means we're not just governed by Manchester United and what's going on with us at the moment, but did want to cover, first and foremost, one of the things that have popped up is about Jadon Sancho, and the Borussia Dortmund president coming out saying, basically, we'll respect Jadon Sancho's wishes. If he chooses to leave. Now, that doesn't mean that he's on the transfer list or anything like that. It just purely means that if Sancho decides to go or wants to go, then he'll be allowed. Simple as that. So, I mean, whether that's encouraging or not, it certainly bodes well. But we've got this whole, is there going to be a transfer window in the summer? Is it going to be just a case of us, if you like, just going straight from no season to starting the next season, which would be August, September, maybe. I don't know, but I'm hoping and I'm praying that we've got a transfer window, purely because, oh man, the way the trajectory we were on at the moment was one of, we were looking good, we were looking great, we were on great form, we were on a road to, who knows. We're in obviously the FA Cup chase and the Europa League chase and the top four chase. So the fact that the season, which I'd say looks like it's come to an end, realistically, I don't know if it's gonna stay that way. I don't know if we're gonna be, if we're just gonna end up staying as we are. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, basically. So yeah, I'm not 100% on whether or not we're gonna be playing this season on, or if it's going to be a case of, yeah, just be that as it may, we're just going to stay as we are. We're going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to pick up the season some way down the line. But yeah, back to Jadon Sancho and the fact that the Borussia Dortmund president has come up and said, look, we're looking at possibly working out a deal, with Sancho. He said that they were hoping to keep Sancho beyond the summer, before the coronavirus broke. But he said he's respecting Jadon Sancho's wishes. If he wants to indeed go, he'll let him, basically, but it won't come cheap. And the prices that were bandied about were 130 million euros. So whether that's 120 million pounds now, I don't know what the current rate would be, obviously, with everything going on. But that's really encouraging. And I'd like to look at us as front runners. Obviously, Chelsea has been bandied about, but realistically, I don't know if Chelsea can afford him. I really don't. I'm hoping, realistically, I'm pretty much sure that we can afford him. So yeah, let's just hope and pray that continues to be the way. Also, Koulibaly's been mentioned as well over the past few days. Now, obviously, Napoli, the situation in Italy with Corona is obviously rife. It's bad. So fingers crossed, prayers go out to them. Hopefully they're staying as safe as possible. Obviously, it's quite rife there at the moment. So fingers crossed they come out of it okay. But obviously, there's been whispers of Koulibaly for quite some time now, him wanting to leave Napoli. So bring it on, man. Bring it on. If that's the case, then fantastic. I'd love to see Koulibaly at Manchester United. However, that would cause a problem for Lindelof and Eric Bailly. Bailly's obviously been injured for quite some time. For those of you that know and have watched some of my videos before, you'll know that I'm not a massive fan of Victor Lindelof as a lead centre back for Manchester United. I'd love to see Koulibaly and Maguire line up next to each other. That would mean a back five of obviously De Gea, possibly Dean Henderson, who knows. Luke Shaw or Brandon Williams. Go with Luke Shaw at the moment. Harry Maguire, Koulibaly, and Wan-Bissaka. That's one mean defence. That's one seriously mean defence. So if that's what it means, then fantastic, brilliant, awesome, fantastic. I'd also like to look at the fact that we are in a position of financially, we're in a position of power, put it that way. Outside of all this corona stuff, we're in a good spot to be able to try and make something happen, for want of a better word. So yeah, before I continue on, just with the team, wanted to say as well, the potential of our lineup, should we keep Pogba, could be frightening. It really could. If you added just Koulibaly to that team and you're keeping Pogba, that's a massively talented team. And then even if we just stay as we are up top, that's a brilliant team. So that's, as I mentioned, Shaw, Maguire, Koulibaly, Wan-Bissaka. Then you're looking at possibly Fred, Pogba and Bruno, or McTominay, Pogba and Bruno, or Matic, Pogba and Bruno. Who knows? And then you've got Martial, Rashford, and possibly Dan James maybe starting ahead of Mason Greenwood, I'd imagine. And you'd look at bringing Mason Greenwood off the bench. Either way, that's a fantastic proposition for us. So, yeah, man. I just thought that'd be an absolutely awesome lineup. Just thought to myself as well. Obviously, you've got the potential of Jadon Sancho, so he would then come into the lineup, and you could possibly look at a striker, maybe, I don't know, based on Martial's form over the current months and, you know, a good portion of this season. You could look at saying, well, maybe not. The fact that we've got Igalo as a backup as well, hopefully he's done as a permanent deal as well. That would be absolutely fantastic. So I'd be well and truly happy with that as well. Red Devil Studio, what's going on, brother? Yeah, man, that's my guy, Red Devil Studio G. Much appreciated, guys. Make sure you go and check out his content as well if you're watching this live or if you're watching it as after it's been recorded. Palmeiras up, mate. Hope you're dealing with self-isolation well. What do you think about the Bellingham situation? So in terms of Bellingham, I'd like to sign him and then loan him back to Birmingham City because he's obviously still progressing there. I know Manchester United don't like having the development of their young players in someone else's hand, historically speaking, but obviously he's come this far with Birmingham, and obviously that's his boyhood club. He's a supporter of Birmingham City as well, which is where I live. But we're gonna have to pay through the nose, which you're looking at prices of 30-35 mil, and obviously you've got Dortmund involved, you've got Bayern Munich involved, and it's been reported that Dortmund have struck a deal and he's chosen Dortmund and whatnot. It's kind of like a back and forth at the moment, but without the dotted line being signed, it's up for debate. So Jude Bellingham, I'd love to sign him, but if you look at this squad that we have at the moment, I'd like to see him spend like Jordan Henderson's been. Jordan Henderson, like Henderson's been doing as well at Sheffield United. He's been pulling up trees in goal for them. So I'd love to see that be the situation for Jude Bellingham if we were to sign him as well. That's a big if, because Dortmund seem to be front runners at the moment, and they just seem to be front runners for the youth movement at the moment for some reason. Well, I say for some reason, they've got a good history of bringing players on, developing them technically, physically, and then going on to bigger and better things. So, it's not a bad club, and I think a lot of players look at Dortmund as a stepping stone to further greatness. So not a massively bad thing, but that means after they've been to Dortmund, then you're looking at mega money basically. For example, you're looking at mega money for Jadon Sancho. You're looking at mega money for Erling Haaland when he leaves eventually. Which I'm under no illusions he will definitely leave. But the point is, you're looking at mega bucks. Simple as that. You're looking at mega bucks to get these players in. So hopefully, yeah, it doesn't, hopefully it comes to us instead of going to Dortmund, man. And then obviously people chasing him afterwards, and then Dortmund cashing in for, 80 to 100 million, like they're going to do with Sancho, like they're going to do with Erling Haaland as well. So Dortmund have this canny ability to bring in the young players, bring him on, then perform to high levels, and then sell him on for mega profits. Let's make no bones about it. And obviously Dortmund see this as part of a business. That's why I believe the president's come out and said, basically, we'll respect Jadon Sancho's wishes, because he knows that there's going to be big dollars in for Jadon Sancho, and he's rubbing his hands together like that, saying, "Yeah, man, let's go." But Palmaris, just to answer your question in regards to self-isolation. Well, as I was saying before, I suppose I'm isolated whilst I'm at home, but other than that, I'm at work still. I'm still working Monday to Friday, so I'm still out the house Monday to Friday. So yeah, it's one of those where you just like, that's just how it's going at the moment. My company, I work in construction, and that's the company's ethos at the moment. So following the guidelines at the moment, trying to look after myself and my family, distancing, social distancing, all that sort of thing as well. So staying as safe as possible, man. So I hope you guys are too. Just wanted to say, yeah, man, it's a strange time. So I'm just hoping everyone's staying safe. Obviously, it's been, rinsed completely now in terms of the washing your hands thing, social distancing, your 2 meters and whatnot. People are wearing masks, gloves, all that kind of stuff to look after themselves. So it's good to see people actively trying to stay, out of harm's way, so to speak. But obviously, for those people that have lost loved ones, or loved ones that are in, difficult situations at the moment, my heart goes out to you as well. And hopefully there are speedy recoveries at hand. So that being said, it's also been a while since Ollie's been in the job now, just over a year now since he's been made the full-time manager. That being said, that's a fantastic opportunity for him. So brilliant, fantastic. How do we think he's done? I actually think he's done pretty well. I think there's been, a couple of instances where he's been in a precarious situation, let's just say, in terms of the squad that he's been left with. Let's be honest with it. He's been left with a fairly young, and in some cases average and out of form squad. He's done a very good job recently of getting some of those out of form players into form, namely Matic, Fred. He's brought through McTominay, he's brought through Brandon Williams, he's brought through Greenwood. Obviously, his signings has been fantastic in Ighalo. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Dan James has been, probably the lowest of that list, but his sign has been brilliant. And a video I've done with Full-Time Devils as well, in respect to that, saying pretty much that much, where he's, his sign has been great, but also his players, the players that he's released, the guys that were down as dead wood, he's done a fantastic job of that. So I'm just, you can see where Ollie's going. You can see what type of avenue he's going down, and it's looking good, man. So I can't say too much other than that he's looking like, I don't want to say it, but because I've been maintaining all the way along, I don't know if he's the guy to take us forward back to the glory days, so to speak. But the one thing that does work in his favour is the fact that he's out and out Manchester United at heart. So that works in his favour massively. That works in terms of the case that he's going to be doing absolutely everything he can for Manchester United. He's going to be doing absolutely everything he can to get us back to those glory days. He knows what it was like back in the day as well. So, you know, he knows what it was like when it was the glory days. He also knows what was happening around the club in those glory days. So he's going to be doing everything he can to get us back there. I'm still not sold on Ollie being that guy, but you know, he's in the best position possible to get us there. So I can't knock what he's done at all. He stayed with it. He stayed consistent in terms of, you know, what he's been saying. He's not always been backed by the club. It's come out recently by none other than Erling Haaland's dad as to why Haaland didn't join Manchester United. And that's purely because he said, you know, Solskjaer wanted his son, but the club didn't back him fully with regards to signing him. That's why we didn't end up with Erling Haaland. So, you know, take that as it is, I suppose. As for if it's quoted as being saying that from his dad, so that's what his dad said, and if that's what the case is, then ultimately it comes down to the fact that we didn't back Ollie. Now look at Erling Haaland smashing it in Dortmund, and he's going to be, you know, he's going to cost another 100 mil to whoever decides to go and get him. And I doubt it's going to be us, because obviously we've had an opportunity to sign him just then, and we didn't. Ultimately, we didn't fully go in all in like we did with Bruno Fernandes. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming the deal could have been done for less than 30 million pounds. So, you know, the fact that we missed out on Erling Haaland because we didn't want to pay, you know, up to 30 million. You know, and then if we then say 5 years time or 3 years time, whatever the case may be, yes, let's go and get Erling Haaland. It's going to cost us over 100 mil. Let's be honest. You know, at the minute he's one of Europe's hottest prospects, and I'd imagine that's just going to be the case going further down the line. So, you know, it's hard to see. It's hard to see that we've not got the ambition, or we've not got the foresight to see what these players are going to be, and not backing the manager. You know, so Ollie wanted him, as Haaland's dad said, but Manchester United didn't back Ollie, unfortunately. So it's sad to see. So Ollie's been in charge now for 76 games in total, including his caretaking stint. I think he won 46 games, drew 14, lost it. No, sorry, won 41, drew 16, lost 19. That's it. So he's lost a lot of games. Let's say it as it is. He's lost a lot of games. However, as I said, he's not always been backed. Why didn't we go and get Bruno in the summer transfer window? Why did we wait until January? For me, you've got to look at the board. You've got to look at Mr. Matt Judge. You've got to look at Ed Woodward and say, you guys failed Ollie in this case. You didn't back him. You didn't back him and say, yeah, let's go. If we get it wrong, so be it. You didn't look at his track record of signings for Dan James, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, brilliant deals. Unfortunately, that one's on the board. I'm afraid. So yeah, guys. Yeah. So I'm still at work. I may even upload whilst I'm at work. Who knows? Depending on how busy I am at work. If it gets shut down, I'm still going to be at work, doing other bits and pieces. So yeah. Yeah, much appreciated for you guys joining me, whether it's live or it's watching afterwards. I will try and keep you posted with everything that's going on Manchester United and other bits and pieces as well. Obviously, the Euros seem to be off at the until next year, so that bodes well if we do have an opportunity to go and finish the league. At the minute, it's up in the air, and it's, you know, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But in any case, guys, I shall see you in the next one. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care.